Hi, right now I'm in Aichi Prefecture, actually Nagakute City, not far from Nagoya. And I'm here to check out the construction progress for the new Ghibli theme park, which will be opening this November.
In the heart of Japan, Studio Ghibli is building a theme park based on the rich and fantastic worlds of its animated stories. So how do you imagine Ghibli Park? A Disneyland-like world of thrills and entertainment, complete with roller coasters, boat rides, and your favorite Ghibli characters walking around? Well, I hope you don't have your heart set on that particular image, because Ghibli Park will be nothing like that. We'll talk more about that later. First things first. Most visitors to Ghibli Park will arrive by train via Nagoya City. From Nagoya Station, we take the Higashiyama subway line east and transfer at Fujigaoka to the Linimo line. Linimo is actually an early model maglev train. It was built as a test track and showcase for Japanese technology during the Aichi 2005 Earth Expo, the site of which also happens to be our location today. That's right, Ghibli Park is being built on the old Expo site. It's actually considered to be a kind of extension of the Expo Legacy project. Up to now, this site has hosted a range of athletic facilities and an extensive network of walking and cycling paths. Studio Ghibli has agreed to maintain most of this infrastructure, as well as several other pre-existing amenities. And since it will be built on public land, the project has been carried out as a kind of collaboration between Ghibli and the Aichi prefectural government. And about those pre-existing amenities I mentioned, you might be interested to know that they include a small Totoro-themed park, complete with a life-sized reconstruction of Satsuki and Mei's house from the movie. You'd almost think they've been planning this all along.
Let's go. First, let's head up to the roof of this building and see what things look like from up there. From up here, we can see all of what will become Ghibli Park. The area they're working with is about 2 kilometers squared. For reference, that's about 4 times the size of Disneyland. We'll head back down and take a look around in a minute. But first, let's just briefly go over the plans for the 5 areas that will make up Ghibli Park. 1. Ghibli Grand Warehouse, Dai Soko in Japanese. This will be a huge indoor area featuring elements from various Ghibli films, including The Secret World of Arrietty, Castle in the Sky, and Spirited Away. There'll also be a large dining area, a playground, and a full-size movie theater. 2. The Hill of Youth, or Seishun no Oka. This area will include the antique shop from Mimi o Sumaseba, Whisper of the Heart. Also the Cat Bureau from Cat Returns, and that elevator tower thing that we saw earlier. I don't think that's from any particular movie, but it does have a Laputa-esque design style. We'll take a closer look in a minute. 3. Dondoko Forest, or Dondoko Mori. This area will be based on the world of Ghibli's most beloved animation, Totoro. So we'll have a sacred forest meets nostalgic Japanese countryside kind of theme. This area includes Satsuki and Mei's house. The area will also have walking trails, a cafe area, and likely a few other amenities as well. 4. The Valley of Witches, or Majo no Tani. This will be based on the towns in Kiki's Delivery Service and Howl's Moving Castle. It will include Kiki's parents' house and a life-size model of Howl's castle itself. There'll also be a classic old-style amusement park. This is one of the 2 areas that will not be opening this November, but next year in 2023. And 5. Princess Mononoke Village. Design details from this area are still shrouded in mystery, but it will be set in the Muromachi era countryside and will include a life-size recreation of Irontown. I'm probably most excited about this one, but I'll have to wait until next year because this is the other area that will not be ready for this November's opening. Well, let's wander around a bit and see what we can see.
So I'm just outside the first part of the new Ghibli Park that's actually open to the public. Most of the park's still closed, but I'm gonna go down and wander around a bit. You wanna come? Let's go check it out.
Welcome to Ghibli Park. I think we're just passing through, or maybe around the side, of the Hill of Youth area. This building we can see right here is an ice skating rink, which will be left open and still available to the public once Ghibli Park is running. According to the map, the warehouse should be just on the other side of it. Oh, have you seen these 2 characters before? The big one is Morizo and the little guy is Kikoro. These are not new Ghibli characters, as some English language media has falsely reported. They are in fact the 2 mascots of the 2005 Earth Expo that I mentioned earlier. That said, these 2 were supposed to be like forest tree spirits representing the wisdom of nature, which was the theme of that expo. So one could be forgiven in thinking that they were a Ghibli creation. Across the pond there on the left is the house from Whisper of the Heart. So that's definitely Hill of Youth. And here it is, the Grand Ghibli Warehouse. From what I've seen so far, this area should be really cool, like a supercharged version of the Ghibli Museum. I'm also pretty excited about finally being able to see their movies on the big screen. Personally, I hope they show Princess Kaguya, but I'll of course be happy to see some classic Ghibli as well, or whatever they're showing. This whole space in the middle here, between the different theme areas, and in fact most of the park itself, is going to be free of admission and just open for the general public to wander through. You only have to pay if you actually go into one of the set theme areas. And here in front of us, under construction, is a gate that will lead to Dondoko Forest. Right now there's a little shuttle bus that runs along this road, kind of a perimeter road around a lot of the park. I figure this will keep running once Ghibli Park opens. Maybe they'll turn it into Neko Bus? The construction zones that will be Valley of Witches and Mononoke Village are off limits at the moment, so I couldn't check them out. But before we wrap things up, there's one more point we really need to talk about. Okay, actually 2 points. First, no rides or characters. Were you imagining a Ghibli-themed version of Disneyland? If so, you may be disappointed. Right from the start of planning, Miyazaki Goro, the son of Hayao, who is in charge of the project, was clear on this point. The park was to exist in harmony with its natural surroundings. There would be no rides and no characters wandering around for entertainment. What it would be is a place to immerse oneself in the aesthetic of various Ghibli movies and experience the worlds of Miyazaki Hayao and the other Ghibli creators on a deeper and more personal level. Second, attendance caps. Each of the 5 areas will have its own daily attendance cap, and they are quite low. Of the 3 areas opening this November, the Grand Warehouse will allow the most daily visitors, 5,000 on weekends and 4,500 on weekdays. Hill of Youth will allow 900 visitors a day on weekends and 780 on weekdays. And for Dondoko Forest, only 750 on weekends and 650 during the week. Which I have to say seems low, considering I'm pretty sure most Ghibli fans would be a bit disappointed not to experience this area. Basically, make sure you make reservations in advance. And even if you do, you have to accept that there's a real possibility that you might not get into every area of the park in a single visit. But this may actually be by design. The point of Ghibli Park is to recreate the feeling of different Ghibli locations. And nothing would ruin that quicker than a massive crowd of noisy tourists or long lineups everywhere. By limiting the number of visitors inside each area, the carefully created aesthetic can be maintained, providing a better experience for everyone. Having visitors rush through their experience to squeeze each area into their visit would also go against Ghibli's vision. I'm sure they would rather us take our time and have a deeper and more meaningful experience. Sure, they could make more money by packing in more customers, but that's not what this is about. And speaking of money, the admission fees in November will be as follows. For the Grand Warehouse, a weekday admission will be 1,000 yen for kids and 2,000 for adults, and 500 yen more on weekdays. And the other 2 areas will each cost 500 yen for kids and 1,000 for adults, respectively. Pretty reasonable in my opinion. Although, once they have all 5 areas up and running, I guess that could get a little expensive, assuming you manage to fit all 5 areas into a single day's visit. That leaves just one more thing to do. Go get lunch. Right now, we're in the north entrance area. This area will stay open to the general public since it doubles as a hub for the pre-existing recreational facilities in the area. I'm assuming that this building will be left mostly as is. At least, I hope so, because the cafe is really good. Anyway, I'm sure they'll Ghibli things up a bit before the opening in November. Thanks for joining me today. If you haven't yet, subscribe to my channel and I'll see you in the next video. Or maybe even at Ghibli Park.